I already know what's going to be said. Oh, you can't get addicted to weed, blah, blah, blah. Look, bitch, you can be addicted to anything, any substance, any behavior. The human mind is incredibly complex. Human behavior is incredibly complex. People get addicted to all sorts of shit. You can be addicted to anything. Just because a substance doesn't rank as high on its addiction scale to other things like nicotine or whatever doesn't mean that you can't get addicted to shit. You can be addicted to weed, if not physically, psychologically. Okay, all right, let's go to video 2. Sorry, guys, I had to take a break. I had to cool down the studio. Had to go to fucking psychotherapy for 6 years. Had to go to a hypnotist. Had to untrain my brain. Had to go to rehab, IQ rehab. Think I lost like 15 IQ points. Had to go to Harvard. Had to be studied. Had to be consoled by my family and friends. Shit hurts my head. It hurts my head. Okay, fuck it. Let's go. Second video. It's called The Jokerr Continued Misconduct. Nick made a video. It went from we made a video to Nick made a video. Okay, interesting. That's cute. Let's go! Okay, hold on. The lighting in this video sucks ass, so I had to do the usual and make it black and white. So, no, your videos suck, period. No matter what you do, everyone knows they suck. So, stop trying to make these little self-referential, charismatic side notes and screens and shit to explain away your bullshit.
Oh. Go wear this.
Damn, man, you gained weight since that last video? That double chin look a little bit bigger. Huh. Hey, anyways, not trying to fat shame you or anything, but you kind of look like Justin Bieber if he were to go to a summer camp and then jump off onto one of them big blobby lake things, and then him and the blob metaphysically merged into one entity.
That's the whole video. This thing's fucked up. So I think we should talk about the Jokerr again. Since we last...
Of course, because you know that's the only thing that gets you fucking views.
...left our clown Prince of Rhyme, he's put out an album and made more enemies and more empty promises. The rollout for his album All the Orphans was dead after less than a week, and I mostly didn't hear from him again until he was recently called out for some shady shit, and he had a whole ass mental breakdown. In fact, he actually shot a few jabs at me in a track called Explosive, and I didn't know that until I started prepping for this because it just did that poorly that I never heard it, so I think I won that beef. Yep.
Oh my god, dude, that's so hilarious, bro. You were like king narcissist. Like, the fact that you would think that, first of all, that I would ever address you on wax, period, is fucking hilarious because you're not worthy of it. And then secondly, that I did that in Explosive and in Don't Try. I have no idea who the fuck you are. I don't remember who the fuck you are. I work with hundreds of fucking artists and thousands of fans over the course of years. You are a nobody. The only reason why you're getting the shine that you're getting right now is because it behooves me to use your bullshit to clear a lot of the bullshit in the air floating around about me so I can keep my own career moving without having to have idiots like you out there feeding into rumors spread by people who are trying to make me look like somebody I'm not because they're bitter because I won't fuck with them anymore for one reason or another. Probably because they do bitch shit like that.
He also commented on my video at one point saying he was going to respond with a reaction video, which would have been hilarious, but he later deleted the comment.
No, I'm doing it right now, bitch. Ha!
And that was that. Anywho, since...
No, it's not that. This is that.
The last video, Jokerr has seemingly got even more money hungry.
Jokerr doesn't keep his promises.
And quick-tempered and is getting more and more unprofessional by the minute. So let's take one more crack at this shit, because I ain't doing it again.
I guarantee you you're doing it again. I promise you. Watch, everyone watching this, I guarantee, go to his YouTube channel after this is out for a week or two. There will be another one about me because this is the only way he gets views. As of when I made those videos, I'm a moderately successful independent recording artist. And yet videos regarding me make over 25% of his entire total channel views. So you think he's not going to respond to this shit after I gave him the spotlight that he's been begging for by doing this kind of shit? He is going to respond.
On September 6, 2017, the Jokerr released a video of his wife walking around in a field in a Frodo cape and modern-looking socks for some reason. I guess they missed that shit. And this video was the announcement for his next album called All the Orphans, for which he stupidly immediately put out pre-orders for. Fast forward to 2 years later, and All the Orphans is finally coming out, and is to date the only album he's dropped since 2012 that isn't a compilation or a collab album. Both of which I don't count as official entries to a person's catalog.
Okay, first of all, bitch, All the Orphans, by definition, is orphan songs. Songs that weren't made for an album. These are songs that I made over the last 6 years, 7 years, as I was getting married, starting a family, moving states, moving to LA, starting a whole chapter of my entire life, going through hell and high water to keep pushing my dreams forward. These are songs that I made during that process that weren't specifically made for a specific album. They weren't specifically made for the Harlequin, Bell Reflection, or any of that shit. These are those songs. They are the orphan songs. And the reason why it had zero press is because this album was for the orphans. This album was for the people who've been rocking with me, who feel like orphans, who feel like they don't have anybody or anything, because that's how the fuck I feel. And that's how the fuck I have been feeling, but I'm still pushing forward and making shit happen because that's what men do, which you wouldn't know shit about. So, yes, by definition, this didn't get pressed. There was no marketing whatsoever. I put it all the way the fuck out all at once on YouTube in the middle of the night. So sitting there criticizing it like it was supposed to be this huge fucking release and it flopped is both stupid, inappropriate, and ignorant.
I gave this whole album a listen because I wanted to see where he was at since I left him, and he's in a pretty boring spot to say the least. Every song on here just kind of blended into the next one with few exceptions. The mixing is mostly very professional, but almost too professional. Like,
what the fuck kind of shit is that? Almost too professional? That's like taking your fucking car to a car wash and when it comes out, it's perfectly clean. And you're like, yeah, but this is, this is almost like too clean. Like, even your criticisms are stupid and incoherent.
Like, the mixes are so slick and overly polished, I feel like I'm listening to an album by Handsome Squidward.
What kind of criticism is that, dude? Criticizing me because of how awesome my mixes are? Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back to my songs and fuck them up a little bit just to meet your fucking superficial, goofy-ass, backwards standard of what you think should be a perfect song.
And every other track on here had these ginormous, gaudy outros that throw in every instrument in the kitchen sink and then just last for 20 minutes at a time.
Man, you fucking told me you're shitting on my art. I might as well quit right now because you don't like fucking big songs. Okay, cool, shit. We'll never go to a fucking movie because every single movie is scored by orchestras, contains orchestral compositions with hundreds of instruments mixed perfectly. So you're criticizing me for having songs with too many instruments that are too brilliantly put together and too perfectly mixed. That's what you're telling me right now. Okay, cool.
At 17 tracks and about an hour and 20 minutes long, All the Orphans is a fucking trudge to get through. There are tracks on here
fucking trudge to get through. Well, don't listen to the shit then. You obviously can't relate to anything in the real world or any song about some real shit because you're a spoiled little snot-nosed, pudgy fucking Blumpkin stain in your mom's room criticizing people, doing shit, again, that you could never ever do.
That he dropped way back in 2013, and I'm curious as to whether or not he always planned to put them on this album and it legitimately takes him that long to make 17 songs, or if he's just lazy and just started padding out the album with random loosies he had laying around.
That is exactly what I said the fucking All the Orphans is, but it's not random loosies. These are real songs from a real place. Every single song has the utmost fucking attention paid to the detail, the mix, the mastering, the composition, everything. It's like, I don't have a middle ground, but that's what these songs are. That's why it's called All the Orphans. These are orphan songs that didn't necessarily fit on another canonical Joker's Legacy album.
Because he realized he's taken too long on it. To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the latter, because there's an excessive amount of fat on the bones here.
There's an excessive amount of fat on your bones, bro.
There's also just weird little inconsistencies that just tell me he didn't really give a shit about the final product.
Oh, I gave a shit, and it's a great product, but on one hand, you're telling me it's too perfect, and now you're telling me it's inconsistent, so.
Like the fact that some of the curse words on here are censored, and then other times they're not. Like on Shortchanged, where he censors shit in one bar, and literally a few bars later, he says fuck twice, completely uncensored.
Are you that fucking dumb, bro? Like, really? You can't tell that that was deliberate for effect? He's talking about the bar in Shortchanged where I went, I dug myself into a pit with my music, because I don't compromise with my music. And then later on, I said the F word. It's like, I stopped for a reason. Do you really think that I accidentally missed saying shit? And oh, God. Your criticism of my shit hurts my fucking head. And the fact that you're saying it was such a smug, entitled little fucking braggadocio is hilarious.
Or the fact that apparently at some point the album cover had a big-ass white line underneath it. And
yeah, I saw that shit. That had nothing to do with me. That was fucking Spotify. Spotify did that. I submitted... there's only one version of the album art that's been submitted to everything, and that was not it. I have no idea why the fuck that line wound up on there, but that's not me. It wasn't on my file, and that file with that line on the bottom does not exist on my computer, so whatever criticism you're gonna say right now is just you being, again, an asshole.
He just didn't seem to notice or care. When most people finish an album, they comb through it to make sure that everything is sounding how they want it to and everything's...
You wouldn't know that because you've never finished a fucking album.
Ironed out. A caring artist would 100% notice if they left some things uncensored and some things censored. Also, some of the...
This guy thinks I actually missed a fucking cuss word, but... Oh, God, dude. Ugh, hurts my head.
Mixes on here are just kind of painful to the ear, especially
Painful to by whose standards? Yours? By the standards of a fucking deaf mute Eskimo?
when he starts getting into them big-ass loud outros when there's a million things going on and it feels like you're standing in the...
Is it possible that you're using really shitty, cheap piece of crap headphones? I suspect that you probably are, because that would fit your entire MO of who you are as a human. Why would someone like you be sophisticated enough to have actually good speakers? You wouldn't. You're not. You don't. That's why the shit probably sounds distorted and ridiculous. You're probably listening to the shit through fucking Radio Shack headphones from 1999. Maybe that's why you hate me so much. Maybe that's why you don't like any music. That's it. That's why you're criticizing everybody's music. Because you haven't actually heard their music. You're listening to all of these people's music through shitty Radio Shack headphones. And probably one side doesn't even work. You might even be deaf because that's how you sound when you're talking. I don't know. It wouldn't make a lot of sense, though. Anyways, on to it.
Biggest school cafeteria in the world. The whole thing just feels both overly polished and half-assed at the same time.
What kind of shit is that? Do you realize that overly polishing something means that you're going way the fuck overboard to make it perfect? How can it be fucking half-assed and overly polished at the same time? That makes no sense at all. That's literally like me. Yeah, I went outside tonight and it was kind of broad daylight and like midnight, like dark at the same time. It's logically fucking incoherent. You're stupid. Have you heard of the logical law of non-contradiction? Have you heard of that? It states that a thing cannot be both A and non-A at the same time. Right? Because that would be contradictory. You can't be a single child and also have a brother. You can't be a single child and not a single child at the same time. Right? You're a fucking idiot.
If you can wrap your mind around that shit. Plus, the production itself is very samey, and the only time...
Samey. Oh, God. Yeah, real sophisticated critique there.
He does mix it up, he'll throw in like a fucking dubstep sound in the background that completely clashes with the mood of the song. Also, the outro track sounds like a Keebler elf had a crack addiction and then eventually got sober and turned...
You know what's funny is people I respect in the music industry have told me that All the Orphans, the album, is literally the best collection of songs they have ever heard from any artist in all time. So the fact that that comes from someone who actually does this for a living, and yet you're over here, a little nobody cockwomble, criticizing my shit like you know what you're talking about, is fucking hilarious. That's really, really funny, because that amount of contrast between what they said, who they are, and what you said and who you are is very indicative of almost all criticism on the internet. It's like people criticizing people on the internet, especially motherfuckers who make their whole platform about the shit like you, have about the same musical taste as a fucking frog. Let me put it this way. You criticizing even a whack rapper's music is like Helen Keller criticizing Beethoven. You are in no place to criticize any music, and you're like tearing this shit down like anybody agrees with you or anybody cares what you're saying. It's fucking hilarious. I'm really glad I did this shit. You're going to get the views? Cool, whatever. You're not going to get the right kind of views because you haven't figured out that you can't build shit on negativity and be immensely successful. You think that someday this shit's going to pay off. It's not. You're always going to struggle. That's why from the first time I saw your shit, whenever you dropped this a year ago or whatever, and now you've magically gained a total of what? 120 subscribers? And you're putting out videos all the fucking time? Whatever, man. Hopefully you'll change from this shit, but, you know, if you don't, whatever. I got to keep it moving regardless.
Turned to Jesus and made that song. The only track that legitimately had me sucked in was Tears That Will Never Dry, which has a weak beat and a shitty hook and a horrible name, but the verses...
Tears That Will Never Come, you fucking retard. If you're gonna criticize some shit, at least get the title right, God.
...had me sucked in was Tears That Will Never Dry, which has a weak beat and a shitty hook and a horrible name, but the verses are an in-depth look into the Joker's childhood and some of the awful shit that's happened to him. That's the only time in years I can remember him sounding like a genuine human being and not sounding like he's putting on some kind of front or acting above everybody and everything. Probably his best work in years on those first two verses of that song, but sadly 2 great verses is not enough to save 100 shitty ones.
You're a fucking idiot, dude. You're really a fucking idiot. Tears That Will Never Come was like the first time I was really, really transparent and honest with my fans and with people, and I was trying to open up for them so that they could see me as more of a person and kind of understand who I am and what I've been through. I'm very private with that kind of shit because I never want to make it about me. I hate the artists that go out there on some American Idol shit and use their story as like some pity case. I never want to do that. Obviously, I got to find the balance because people need to know I'm a real person. I have been through some shit so they can relate to me, and I can't just be completely shut off and in character 24/7. And this song was really my first attempt to really do that. So again, man, you take serious shit and you criticize it and you trivialize it. Nobody's gonna respect that shit, bro. Like, this song is about physical abuse and drug use, and my fucking closest uncle to me, who was the only positive father figure in my life, committing suicide when I was 13. And you're over here like making fun of it, and then the last verse that you're saying was terrible is me telling everybody to stand the fuck up and don't let these horrible things that you go through keep you down. And you're criticizing that, and you're trivializing the shit. You're fucking like as if this is a rap contest, like Team Backpack Cypher or some shit. Like, oh yeah, the first 2 verses are pretty good, but the third guy, he wasn't that good. You're a bitch. You're a king bitch. You're a mega bitch. You really are. You're a little dusty dick twitted bitch. Like, I want you to live some real life is what I want. Like, fuck the jokes and fuck me criticizing all your bullshit. I want you to live some real life. I really want you to live some real life. Go out there and do anything that requires actual effort, other than just sitting in your fucking room and being fat and criticizing other people's career. Do something that requires actual effort for, like, I don't know, 5 years, maybe 6 years, maybe 10 years. Then come back and watch these videos of yourself. That would be the best thing you could possibly do.
For example, one of the opening tracks, Know Too Much, has him claiming that back when he was dissing people and being a negative bastard, he didn't know too much, and he was stupid, and now he's wiser for it.
I didn't even say that. Where the fuck did you get that from the song? Where did you get that from the song, dude? Okay, just for the sake of showing how fucking stupid you are, let me go ahead and pull up. I'm actually going to pull that shit up right now. I'm going to pull up All the Orphans. I'm going to pull up Know Too Much, and we're going to do a little analysis of what the song says and what you said it says. Let's do that. Let's see. Canon. These are the original tracks, by the way, too. These are the good shits. These are the OG fucking 96 kilohertz 24-bit high def tracks, baby, right here. Cause we in the motherfucking lair. I got the files right here, cuh. Shit. Okay, where we at? First verse. What did this retard say that I did?
For example, one of the opening tracks, Know Too Much, has him claiming that back when he was dissing people and being a negative bastard, he didn't know too much, and he was stupid, and now he's wiser for it.
Okay, listen to what he just said. Now let's listen to this fucking song. Here we go.
I thought the world would come around. Thought I'd be saved before I drowned. I thought the wind would fill my sails.
I thought the wind would fill my sails.
I didn't know too much.
I didn't know too much.
I thought the time would right the wrongs.
I thought that time would right the wrongs.
And I thought that I was mighty strong.
And I thought that I was mighty strong.
I thought my best could never fail.
I thought my best could never fail.
I didn't know too much.
Uh.
I didn't know too much. I've got my confidence shaking. I'll sing it out loud as I can.
I've got my confidence shaking. I'll sing it out loud as I can. I'm watching my expectations sink down in the water like damn. If I took it all one step further, I'd wind up so uncomfortable. Thinking if knowledge brings sorrow, leave me hollow, cause I already know too much. How in the fuck does that in any way comport with what you just said about it? You see how fucking ridiculous this is? For anybody who hasn't heard my album, actually go listen to it and then come back and listen to this fucking review of this guy. It's like, you're doing it to yourself, dog. Like, if you're gonna be critical, at least be validly critical. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, the song Know Too Much, when he was back dissing, and he just said he fucked up, and he's a bastard, and he fucked up, and he didn't know too much, blah, 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 blah. And then that's the song, I just played the song that he's critiquing when he says that shit. Oh, man, I'm getting a migraine right now. It really fucking hurts. It hurts bad, because you make yourself look so bad. And what's even worse is that this is how you get your views. Like, make a song. Help someone else. You're such a selfish little bitch, dude. Like, use your music to positively influence somebody. Don't just sit there and be a negative asshole about other people's music. How about you do that instead?
Which, cool, I guess, but problem is, he didn't fucking learn anything. Anytime someone has a problem with him, it's completely that person's fault, and Jokerr accepts no responsibility for it.
That's not true. What the fuck you think fucking Dead Horse was, you dumb idiot? Again, here we go with the contradictions. You can't say, oh, he thinks he's right all the time, and then criticize me for making a song where I'm apologizing for my behavior in one of these negative instances that you say I think I'm right all the time in.
He accepts zero responsibility for the amount of peers he's lost to this day. He's still completely convinced they were the ones at fault, and he's honestly fucking delusional for that.
Oh, really? I'm delusional? Okay, cool. How many fucking recording artists have you listened to that have had beef with people, that have lost friends? Dr. Dre said it in fucking The Chronic, 2001. The business end of this shit can turn your friends against you. Him and fucking Eazy-E. Look at Hobson. Him and Swizz. Him and Dave. Everybody. Look at fucking Tech Nine. Him and like every fucking artist that's come through that label, almost. This is the nature of fucking life. Everyone has hopeful, idealistic expectations about things. And then when those expectations start bumping up against reality, people have to make adjustments. And when you have a friend who has different expectations than you, and your relationship or life or the situation turns out to be not what they wanted, then you go your separate ways. And we're all kids, dude. We start wanting to be recording artists when we're 12, 13 years old. Like, nobody knows shit about life. We can't anticipate how every situation and friendship and decision is going to eventuate in the fullness of time and shit. What am I supposed to do? Have perfect relationships with everyone who I've ever met or worked with? Show me one motherfucking human on the face of this planet who has perfect relationships with everyone they've ever worked with or met. How many are there? Absolutely zero. Because that's the nature of life. That's the nature of being a fucking human. That's the nature of going into any career, meeting people, putting yourself out there. But again, wouldn't know shit about this shit. Because you don't ever do that.
If I had to fix this boring turd of an album, I'd give it this very short track list.
Okay, whatever. Fucking retard.
Otherwise, the rest of this thing is just filler to me. And while I can't exactly find reviews of this shit online, I'm pretty sure most agree with me because literally nobody cared about this days after it was out.
Again, criticizing the fact that the album had zero marketing because it had no marketing. This album was for the orphans. It went straight to them. It went out on Spotify. It went straight to the fans. There was absolutely no marketing behind this shit whatsoever. So you criticizing the fact that nobody's heard it is like fucking criticizing the fact that nobody knows who the fuck you are. Because they don't. Because you've had zero marketing behind you whatsoever other than talking about people like me. I'm helping you right now.
Which, hey man, you win some, you lose some. At least it's not like you put out a pre-order for it 2 years ago without having it remotely finished.
Now again, the same shit. Criticizing the fact I put a pre-order out and it didn't come till 2 years later. You have no fucking clue what it takes to live out here. You have no fucking clue what it takes to live out here. You have no fucking clue what it means to be in a marriage, to take care of a family, to have bills, to have shit to handle, and to have to do all of this by yourself with no record company, no management, no label, no nothing.
Or something like that. Well, that'd just be fucking stupid.
Yeah, criticize me all you want, you piece of shit.
In about mid-2019, Jokerr announced a business called JLS A&R, which offers service packages to artists. Jokerr would handle the entire production process and basically do all the things that a record label would do for you if you were signed. Seems like a decent idea on paper, but the problem is, the Jokerr thinks he's worth more than he really is. So let's say you get the LP package available on the website. This is everything that is offered in the package. Recording, mixing, mastering, and production of up to 10 tracks in the Joker's Lair studios, in-studio recording available, transportation to LA and lodging not included. So if you don't want to be rapping into your fucking blue snowball like usual, you're gonna have to buy a plane ticket and a hotel. 4 full music videos filmed and edited. If you're gonna spend money on videos, go to someone similar to like Lyrical Lemonade. Someone with a distinct voice as a filmmaker and someone who understands interesting imagery. Don't get Jokerr.
You're quoting this guy as somebody who understands interesting imagery? This is the guy you should use instead of me? What the fuck is your problem, dude? Are you blind? You are blind. Are you Helen Keller? You are Helen Keller, right? You have to be.
To just shake a camera in your face on a storm drain. Artist photography, image development, and promotional material graphic design, full album cover graphic design, full physical album / digipack artwork design. All of these things are roughly the same thing except photography, and also, he can't do any of these things himself. He would have to go to outside sources to do these things as he does already for his own music, so just contact those sources yourself. Artist mentorship and consultation, what the fuck does that mean?
It means mentoring and consultation, you dumb idiot. Go find a goddamn dictionary.
Oversight of digital marketing campaign, marketing budget not included. If it's similar at all to his own album campaigns, I'm good. Also, add another like $1,000 minimum to your final total for the marketing budget. Any less and you're definitely not making all this money back. Merchandise design and store creation. Again, something he can't do himself.
Yes, I can.
Continuous one-on-one interactions with Ethan the Joker during the entire duration of the project. Because what a fucking treat it would be to have this guy on speed dial.
Stop wasting time with that loser asshole friend, or that loser asshole boyfriend, or that loser asshole selfish girlfriend, if they're not the one.
One song collect.
You know what's funny is that you try to align these things in a clever little way to make me look bad or to condescend me or to try to devalue me in a certain way. But your whole fucking premise actually backfires, because if people didn't look up to me, if I didn't have this much success under my belt, you wouldn't be making a fucking video criticizing me. Would you? No. You're sitting here criticizing people who are successful musicians and saying that they're not successful. Again, with the contradictions. You need to take a basic logic course, bro. Like, everything you say is completely contradictory, and it's getting to the point where it's sad, and I'm really questioning your mental fortitude. You're sitting here criticizing all the things that I do as if they're not valuable. Do you know what it costs to do a music video? Do you know what it costs to have a dope album cover design? Do you know what it costs to have a dope photographer fucking do your shit? See, the thing is, people like what I do. And because people like what I do, they pay me to do it for them. But the problem is, when I have 20 artists coming to me and I'm doing one photo shoot for this guy and one video for this guy, and I'm mixing and mastering on 2 songs for this guy, and a consultation over here, playing drums on this guy's song over here, helping produce this song over here, then it becomes a scalability issue. There's only so many hours in the day. I'm a professional, yes. This is my full-time job, yes. But I'm getting pulled in 20 different directions. Everything suffers. And also, I'll do a phenomenal video with Joe Schmo, independent artist over here, and it'll do really well. But then he's like, oh, well, I'm going to save money, so I'm going to go to Backwoods homie videographer over here, and then the next 4 videos after my amazing one look like shit. Which frustrates me because, yes, it's a job, but at the end of the day, I am an artist, and I'm also a purist when it comes to art. Like, I'm like, let's figure out a way to make it as dope as possible. Hence why I have fucking the fans that I have. Hence why I have hundreds of thousands of people all over the world who know me with zero marketing budget, no record company, no record deal, no manager. Hence why people actually look up to me and actually call me and want to pay me for my time. Hence why I've been able to fucking live in LA and do what I do for the last 6 years. You're talking about me like I'm a nobody and like people don't pay me and I'm not worth it. So when I do all this shit for all these people, I get spread too thin, and then people go and only get a little bit of dopeness and the rest of their campaign sucks, and that's like super discouraging for me because I want to see people kill it. I want to see everything be commensurate. I want to see dope photography, dope music, dope fucking videos, dope everything across the board. That's how you make a brand. That's how you establish these psychological associations in your listeners' base. And that psychological association is what you then monetize. Because the doper people think you are, the more they're likely to show other people your shit. The more people who know who you are, the more fucking people listen to you. The more people want to come see you at shows. The more people buy your albums and your merchandise. There's a psychological architecture of promoting independent music. And you have to understand it. And you have to be 360 on that shit for it to work the way you want it to work. When my name comes up, people can say whatever they want about my fucking beefs or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But every single time, even my enemies are saying some shit about me, there's always a little asterisk. But he is fucking dope. He is really dope. Nobody's gonna say my shit is whack. So you sitting here saying my shit is whack is both self-contradictory and completely unheard of. Even my enemies are saying that my shit is dope. You're really just portraying your bias and your need to maintain your little snarky dicktard attitude that you have on these videos. Maybe it's a troll, maybe it's for entertainment purposes, but I'm addressing what's there, and that's what it is. So anyways, at the end of the day, it makes more sense for me to just have one artist who really believes in himself and really values what I can do, pay me one big chunk of money rather than getting all these baby little chunks of money to make that same block. So it can be both a one-stop shop for him and also way easier to manage for me, because then I'm only working with one artist at a time. And guess what? At the end of the day, all your little pussy snarky downplaying of my skill and my value or whatever means nothing, because I've already signed up 3 separate artists for both LP packages and EP packages, and I'm actively working with them right now. Yes, people pay me that kind of money to work with them because they know my value. because they know my value. And these are people who have actually been out there trying to do it, watching me get kicked around left and right and still triumphing over this shit. And they say, you know what? This is a real ass motherfucker. I trust him and I want him to help me get where he's at and show me how to get where he's been. And to take what I got and blow it up to the next level. And that's why the fuck I did that shit. It makes perfect logical sense. So anyways, in the fact that I already have clients, everything you're saying after this point is fucking null and void. And like everything else you've said about me, bullshit.
$1,000 minimum to your final total for the marketing budget. Any less and you're definitely not making all this money back.
Yes, because it's stupid for me to pay for the marketing. The artist has to pay for the marketing. You retard.
One song collaboration with the Jokerr to be released on his YouTube and Spotify, if desired, for additional promotion and introduction to his fan base, who will no doubt embrace you for 5 minutes, then stop really caring unless you collaborate with Jokerr again, and even then, you'll have a fallout with the Jokerr eventually, and then all of them will hate you.
Tell that's a whiteout. He's been fucking touring the whole nation and Canada off of his association with me, off of the promotion I gave him with fucking Rumors for years. He sold thousands of dollars of merchandise and verses and made thousands of new fans literally all over the world because of his association with me. So tell that to him, you little cock goblin.
Yeah, this man is stupid if he thinks this package is worth that kind of money. The only thing that is worth your time and what is offered here is the mixing and maybe the filming and editing, and that's just if you have really low standards for creative music videos.
Okay, so you just put a number up there. What is it?
What is offered here is the mix, and then all of them will hate you. Yeah, this man is stupid if he thinks this.
My estimation. So first of all, I don't put numbers on the prices there. So you just made that number up? What? The LP package says from $15,000 to $35,000. That's a huge difference of price. And I give a range rather than specific amounts because every situation, every artist, every project is different. So I don't know where you're getting this fucking number from. You just made that up?
Package is worth that kind of money. The only thing that is worth your time and what is offered here is the mixing and maybe the filming and editing, and that's just if you have really low standards for creative music videos. Everything else is...
Okay, again, tell that to Madchild, tell that to R.A. the Rugged Man, tell that to Kevin Zinger, tell that to Subnoise, tell that to fucking B.O.B., tell that to Glasses Malone, tell that to Hobson, tell that to Evidence, tell that to Dilated Peoples, tell that to Alchemist, tell that to all these motherfuckers in the industry that come to me for video work, and yet you're sitting here criticizing me. Oh, man, this is great.
Is him getting help from other people. You're just paying.
No, not getting help from other people. It's called delegating. You think James Cameron literally did every aspect of the Titanic film or Terminator? No, he delegates. But you need something called creative oversight. You have to have somebody over the top of that thing to make sure that it sounds and looks like a cohesive project. That's what creative directors do. That's what directors do. That's what conductors do. That's what composers do. How are you criticizing that? How do you not know this shit? There's huge fucking firms, multi-million-dollar companies that are just consultation firms. You think companies pay them millions of dollars for them to come and try to do everything they're trying to implement themselves? No, they don't do that shit. The companies come to them and say, look, we need to build this new fucking hotel here, and we need your consultation on the oversight of the project and the design and the management and the architecture and everything, and the consultation firms come and do that. They don't go and build them themselves. They hire subcontractors to be an extension of them, to implement their vision. That's what creative direction is. How are you criticizing this shit?
Him to be the middleman. Not to mention all of his graphics are overly photoshopped and half the time they got a Google image in them or a big fucking white line at the bottom of them, so I'd advise...
Address that in the last fucking video. You're an idiot.
...against it. Also, he decided to make a rap about this business.
Yeah, that's the brand new company.
I have no idea why, but...
Marketing, that's why.
It's pretty stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid, yeah. Exactly. Oh, OBV, here we go. This'll be good.
This is a lot of shit to unpack.
Ugh.
So OBV Records is a very small, independent record label ran by a woman named Frances, and in 2015 she worked with the Jokerr on a number of tracks, mainly in memory of Frances's recently deceased son. One of these releases even reunited him with Swizz after their beef, which had Joker's verse basically boasting that him and Swizz are collaborating, and having him say,
I've never had to rap about a mother's dead child. Guess I can scratch it off the bucket list now.
While I was aware of that track and the existence of OBV, I had no understanding of that situation until Frances messaged me after my initial Jokerr video.
For anybody who's curious, the lady reached out to me and Swizz and asked us to rap about her dead son in a dark way. It wasn't just me being flippant about somebody's dead kid. Like, she asked us to do this shit.
backdrop. She basically told me when her son died, she'd received a large settlement, but she felt guilty for even having it, even referring to it as blood money, and she started offering to loan large sums of it to artists she respected and assumed could use it for something positive.
No, she started giving shit tons of money away, not loan. That makes no sense. If it's blood money and she wants to fucking get rid of it, then why would she loan it? A loan needs to be repaid back.
After a couple of rejections, she very unwisely but innocently approached the Joker, and he jumped at the chance and then basically quietly cut ties with Francis soon after.
No, that's fucking bullshit. Let me explain this shit. Okay, let me preface this whole situation with this. For those of you who don't realize what it takes to make it as an independent creative is like your full-time job, one of the things you have to do is work with a lot of people. You make money by doing like collaborations, features, appearances, and other things like I do with like mixing and mastering, and all as an extension of your popularity. People like the music I make, and they hit me up for that stuff, and then that's where I monetize. So the thing is, when you put music out on the internet just indiscriminately, you really get to pick and choose who hears it, and then who hits you up to work with you. So when you do it long enough, just as a function of the sheer number of people you have to interact with, you undoubtedly wind up working with or interacting with some less than optimal people. It's just what you have to deal with, though. It's your job. You have to, if someone comes to you with money, you got to say yes, because that's how you pay your bills. All that being said, the woman behind OBV Records, Frances, is one of those kind of people. She is actually mentally ill. She's on welfare. She lives in Scotland, and her youngest son died when he was run over by a van in like 2014 or so. Since then, she's lost custody of her other kids, and she's been telling everybody she's going to die in like 6 months to a year for like the last 5 years. So by all accounts, this chick is just not right in the brain. But she plays her situation like a fiddle to get pity from anyone she knows or works with. She's just smart enough and capable enough to not come off as just like batshit crazy right away. Like one of those sleeper crazies, you know? Like people who seem normal for a while, but then after you get to know them for a little bit, you start to discover how fucked up they are. Yeah, she's one of them. So I'm really like at a catch-22 even speaking on this shit. Because, of course, I have all the inside information. I know exactly what happened. And, of course, it angers me beyond belief as a truth fighter that she's out here saying the shit that she's saying about me. But the woman is sick. She's sick, and it's sad. But unfortunately, she's not only sick, she's also very manipulative and very vicious. So if she runs around saying all this crazy shit about me and I don't respond, some people are going to be like, oh, I guess he's not saying anything because it might be true, or it must be true. But if I do respond and defend myself, then it looks like I'm airing out this chick's laundry on some petty shit and or being a bully and going after some poor little Scottish lady on welfare with a dead son. So the whole situation for me is fucked. Either way. I mean, I don't want to focus and linger on this shit because it's not helpful, and it's actually just more sad than anything. Because my whole intention with this lady in the first place was only to help her. After her son died in 2014, she started reaching out to a bunch of rappers with names trying to start her record company, and I was one of the only ones to respond and actually work with her. She had me do collabs, mixing, mastering, all types of creative projects, and we actually became friends. And this was like years ago when this happened. I mean 2015, 2016. We're talking about 4 or 5 years back. So just for the sake of putting this shit to bed, I'm going to give you guys an overview of what happened and just leave it at that. So the long and short of it is this. In 2016, she got this giant settlement of, hundreds of thousands of dollars from her son's accident. He got hit by a work truck or something. Ran over by a work van or something. And then she sent me and a bunch of other people she was working with a big chunk of cash, like without even asking for it. And when she sends it to me, it was via PayPal, by the way. She says, exactly like Nick said, this is blood money from my son's death. I'm not spending a penny of it on myself. All I want is for you to take care of my kids when I'm gone, because I'm going to be dead in 2 years anyways. And she literally told me that shit. Now, being out here in the trenches, fighting tooth and nail for my career and my vision for 6 years, you have no idea the shit me and my wife have had to go through, especially adjusting to just the sheer living expenses, quintupling when we moved from Phoenix. And when someone you've been working with for years has this gigantic check and says, here, I believe in you, just take care of my kids when you make it, it's like, what the hell are you gonna do? It was like an answer to prayers, like manna from heaven. Like me and my wife actually cried when she did that shit. And that's the kind of thing where when I do make it and I have millions of dollars at my disposal, of course I'm going to take care of you. Of course. Like, I'm going to take care of anybody who takes care of me on my way up. I don't give a shit about money. It's just a tool. And you can ask anyone who knows me, I'm crazy generous. I love taking care of my people. I fucking love taking care of my people. So at that point, I'm like, yeah, Francis is a real one. Fucking thank you. It was all Gucci. But then, exactly, the crazy comes out. Later on, of course, after she spent all of her, quote, blood money, she came back and said, yeah, that money I sent you was an investment. Now you have to give me 50% of your income. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not going to fucking happen. And I even told her, if you're hurting for money, how about we work together? You're really good at fucking just cold calling people, talking to people, making shit happen. If you can get me work, mixing, mastering, collabs, music videos, I'll give you a 50% commission on whatever you bring. I told her that shit. I know her and I've been working with her. I didn't just fucking take the money and disappear. That's a complete fucking bullshit characterization of this shit. After she sent me that money, we kept working together for another 1.5 to 2 years. And then when she came after me talking about, hey, you need to give me this huge amount of your income because that was an investment, I was like still trying to help her. I'm like, dude, I can't do that, obviously, but you're talented. You reach out to people. You know how to talk to people. Let's make some shit happen. I'll give you a 50% commission on whatever you bring to me. But no, she wanted no part of that shit. She said, no, I need you to give me at least $5,000 a month from now on because that was an investment. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Francis, there's no possible way there's no possible way to do that. That shit isn't even remotely feasible. So then she goes and starts harassing my wife. Literally harassing her, hitting up on Facebook, and starts saying I stole $35,000 from her dead son to anybody who will listen. Which, by the way, is a number she just fucking made up. She originally sent me one payment of $13K and another of $7K. Shortly after that, so I don't even know where the fuck she got this 35 grand figure from. Anyways, basically, she says if I don't pay her this 35 grand cash, she's going to slander me all over the internet. This started back in like 2017, I think. So it's a checkmate. I haven't, quote, made it yet, so there's no money for me to give her. And instead of working together to help her out financially, in her crazy mind, she decided just to make it her job to slander and defame me all over the internet. All because she sent me money with no strings attached when she had hundreds of thousands of dollars in the bank. And I stress that because it wasn't just her giving me her last $20,000. She had hundreds of thousands in the bank. And she was fucking passing it out like hotcakes to the people that she worked with and cared about and believed in. Why do you think she sent it to me in the first place? So anyways, in a desperate situation, of course I accepted it. Only then later did she come back and say it was an investment that I owed her and that I owed her outlandish sums of money monthly. So that's the whole story in a nutshell. The thing is, I tried everything to help her out and resolve this. This is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, I'm talking about conversations, phone calls, emails. I've tried everything in my power to resolve this and get her to stop being this psycho. But in her delusional mind, she thinks I'm over here sitting on piles of cash like fucking Scrooge McDuck or something. And the answer to getting me to pay her is to trash me all over the internet. Well, I'm at this point now where I'm about to actively enact defamation litigation against this chick because whatever money she is expected to get out of me, she has likely costed me more in defamation at this point. Because who knows how many potential clients or investors or other income sources she's scared off over the last 3 years with the crazy rantings about me. And even as recently as December, I tried to reach out to her and say, okay, you want me to pay you back this money that you gifted me in 2016? Cool. But the only way that this is going to happen is if you sign an NDA and it's all structured, all official with legal paperwork, and you furthermore agree to stop your slander campaign. Because I'm sick of it at this point. And we can structure it retroactively as a business loan with a 10% return, APR. And she outright refuses it. So at this point, I'm convinced she's just using this whole situation for attention. Because this is all she has. She lives on welfare and doesn't work. She doesn't have kids to take care of because the state took them away. So all she has to do is sit around all day on the fucking internet and demonize me. And I was the one just trying to help her. And she garners pity from other artists who already don't want to like me and anybody who listens to her because people naturally are compassionate to other people who have went through some shit. And she's the one who utilizes her son's death to get these people on her side. She's constantly parading her son's death around as a pity carrot, which is fucking despicable to begin with. So that's what's going on with this whole shit. These are the kind of crazy situations you get into in this music game. Why do you think all the behind-the-scenes music stories are all so fucked up? This industry is fucking cutthroat and desperate and brutal, and you have to fight through this shit for years, and then people from the outside have all these crazy expectations about you, and the second shit doesn't go exactly how they plan, you become the fucking enemy. So I'm the bad guy for even working with this chick to begin with, but whatever, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Fuck it. It is what it is. I know I have right on my side at the end of the day. And by the way, if she is saying this was a loan to begin with, because that's what everyone fucking asked me, why is there not one shred of evidence to back this up? How come she's not taking me to court? Why is there no paperwork? Why is there no signed document saying here? Who the hell does a loan for $20,000 fucking dollars with no paperwork? Exactly. There is no paperwork because it wasn't a fucking loan. She sent me cash and then loan sharked me retroactively and then basically extorted me with defamation for the next 3 years trying to get me to pay her. But it's stupid because there is no money to pay. I'm still grinding to make this shit happen. She could have kept the relationship with me, but instead she took this evil-ass route and decided to drag my name through the mud wherever she could for years. And even got fans and other artists turning against me over all this shit. But like I said, whatever. The truth always comes out, and in the end, I'm the one with the fucking record of being laughed at and talked shit about for 4 years because of what I said about the whole Funk Volume and the Strange situation. And then lo and behold, 4 or 5 fucking years later, oh shit, guess Joker was telling the truth the whole time. Yeah, because I don't bullshit. I don't have a reason to bullshit. I hate bullshit. And I'm hyper principled. So if you want to believe the same dude who ate shit for years on principle and then was proven right publicly in front of millions of people is going to outright fucking just steal $35,000 from some lady and then lie about it and then hide from her, then fucking believe that. But at the end of the day, there's zero fucking truth to that proposition whatsoever. So kiss my ass on the rest of the shit that you're about to say, because this is all what it's going to be, is just listen to this shit.
After attempting to contact him for months to get her money back, she eventually turned to trying to contact the Joker's wife. Not long after this, she was contacted by the Joker telling her to stop.
No, she started stalking my wife, and that's while we were still talking. I was trying to tell her, like, look, I don't have the money. Let's work together. Let's figure this out. Then she starts stalking my fucking wife, because she's a fucking lunatic.
Stalking his wife, and that he was monitoring his wife's emails, and that was basically the last time she'd heard from him. When she told me all this, I mostly believed her because the Joker has a history of money grubbing, but there was still...
Dude, fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
Like a 30% chance she's just some crazy...
I bet you have a history of grubbing on nutsacks.
Person on the internet that hates the Joker, so I tried not to think too much of it. Wasn't until recently... Recently, the Joker has been teasing the idea of launching a Kickstarter for his next album, and one of his longtime fans happened to comment on a post about it, saying something along the lines of, "Do you plan to use money from grieving mothers for this as well?" And that spiraled shit out of control. Joker soon contacted Frances, telling her he will pay roughly $26K of the 30...
No, this shit right here is exactly what I said. This is a fucking 10% interest loan. That's the most you can possibly do. And this is after 3 years of her trying to slander me. This is before the lawsuit that I'm fucking enacting on her. And notice exactly what the fuck it says. If you want me to do this, we'll need to sign an agreement outlining these terms in this amount, and you'll need to sign an NDA, an agreement to never speak about our dealings with a third party again, and to stop your defamation campaign against me altogether. You've been slandering me for at least 2+ years all over the internet to fans and with fellow professionals alike, and that must stop immediately if you want to be repaid. What the fuck am I supposed to do? What the fuck am I supposed to do? How would you handle it? Oh wait, you've never been in any kind of a situation like this, so you don't know shit. Of course.
$5K that she gave him, but only under the conditions that she stops her smear campaign against him and signs a non-disclosure agreement. Now, I don't know what kind of person you are, but I think that a fucking NDA is a pretty big, bright red flag.
No, that's fucking standard practice with any goddamn business deal. You don't know shit about shit, do you? You're a nobody. You're just a little kid. You're literally a kid in a bedroom.
She very smartly refused this, as for one, this wasn't even the full sum he owed her, and because...
No, that's more than the full sum. She sent me 20 grand originally.
Because two, signing an NDA with someone who owes you money basically guarantees they don't have to pay you back if they don't want to, because...
No, that guarantees that if you keep doing your evil bullshit, they don't have to pay you back. There's something on the line. It's an agreement saying that I'm not going to continue talking about this deal. This is standard business practice shit.
Because they can just sue your ass if you complain about a late payment publicly.
Well, I'm suing her ass anyways, because this shit going way the fuck over the line.
That eventually turned into a big post from Jokerr that has since been deleted, claiming that Frances just gave him $35K out.
No, she didn't give me 35. Again, 20. I never have once ever fucking said this 35,000. She just pulled that out of thin fucking air. She pulled that out of thin air.
Right, and it wasn't a loan. Which, unless one of her siblings is fucking Jeff Bezos, I doubt she would ever do that. Even if it was just a gift, just give it back to...
You look like the fucking Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. Like, seriously, bro. Like, watch them carbs, my nigga. I want you to die of a heart attack at 18 years old.
A gift, just give it back to her. She's a fucking grieving mother that was possibly not in her right mind when she gave you $35,000. Probably not the most moral decision to accept thousands of dollars from her as a...
You're a fucking idiot, dude. You're such a bitch. The way you're even framing this and talking about it so confidently makes me want to slap you across your face. You will get slapped across the face at some point in life if you continue behaving this way in general. But my thought is that you'll never say any of this shit to anybody's face because people who do the kind of shit you do are cowards, and cowards don't say shit to people's faces. So you probably never will get smacked across the face, even though you very much deserve to.
Gift. But I'm pretty sure it's definitely not a gift, because why would he feel the need to pay her back then? Even if it was...
He's posting this shit like it's some candid information. Frances, I want to help you, but if you're not willing to work with me, then there's nothing I can do. I have to protect myself, and you've shown yourself to be untrustworthy and outright malicious towards me. Remind your lawyer we made an agreement years ago and you owe me my son's money regardless. My attorney will not allow me to agree to anything further without a signed NDA, an agreement to stop your slander campaign, so it seems we're at an impasse. Doesn't deny that the loan existed at all. First of all, bitch, this is 3 lines of an enormous conversation that includes fucking years of actual phone calls, of which there is no record whatsoever. So you sitting here and pointing this out like this is some big gotcha is fucking pointless.
It was just a smear campaign built off lies. There had to be a way for him to prove that with some screenshots or something, and he never did.
Just stay out of my way. Stop talking about me. As soon as it's in my power to do so, I will take care of you. Like I said from the beginning. Yes. What? None of your constant slander will do anything to speed up the process. Best move for you to do is just chill and let me get big so I can help you. I don't know when I said that or what this screenshot's from, but yes. That's not damning, that's yes. That's fucking exactly in line with everything that I said.
That email is the fucking smoking gun. Later, Jokerr must have realized how fucking stupid this sounded and deleted that post, although he later claimed the post was reported and removed for harassment and bullying, and he received a...
It was, you dumb bitch.
24-hour ban.
I did, you dumb bitch.
Even though he literally had just posted 12 hours earlier.
What the fuck are you talking about? Are you stupid? How is this any kind of proof? These are 2 separate posts. I did have a 24-hour ban. Why the fuck would I lie about that? I want to fucking lie about the 24-hour ban. I did. I got a goddamn 24-hour ban and it was stupid and annoying.
Which brings me to Dubs. Dubs is a very underground rapper that came up in Joker's I Dare You to Diss Me contest and tournament. Dubs made it pretty far in the finals of that tourney and has since been working with Jokerr on and off for years, even doing a music video for him. Well, surprise, surprise, Dubs approached Jokerr to do a collab track, and Jokerr did what he always does and just didn't do it at all. A combination of this and hearing about what was going on with OBV Records, Dubs put out a diss track on Jokerr, which eventually culminated in the Jokerr releasing a fucking mental breakdown over top of the song he was supposed to do a collab verse for a long time ago.
No, see, again, you're fucking characterizing shit. How do you have the knowledge of what happened in this situation? You don't. You weren't in it. You're fucking dumb. And it's extremely biased and extremely skewed. Why don't you mention the fact that Dubs is on 9-10 different songs of mine, that I've been putting him out to people and supporting his career from afar for the last fucking 5 years? Why don't you mention any of that shit? As recently as Monday, before all this stupid shit happened, me and Dubs were cool. He was sending me songs to check out for the song that we were supposed to do together. Like, options. And he was sending me his new shit. And I was like, yeah, this is dope. This is good. He's always been cool with me. Like, almost always. A little bit sketchy after the Massetti situation, but we've been cool. Everything's been cool. I have his number. He has my number. We talked. Then all that bullshit happened with fucking Frances. And Thursday, Monday we were cool. Thursday, with no warning, no nothing, the motherfucker drops a diss track on me. He dropped the fucking diss track on me. And then he wouldn't answer my calls. And in the diss track, he said, yeah, you're probably going to say we were just cool right now, but don't be fucking calling me, blah, blah. Again, bitch shit. Same shit Descendant did. These fucking nobodies from back east living their whole music careers in fucking giant imagination bubbles, fucking with people who actually give a shit about them and who actually have helped their career, and then turning me into the bad guy when other people are saying shit about me. Like, if you're a real friend and you hear some negative shit about me, you should be defending me. If I hear somebody talking some shit about my friend when they're not around, I'm defending them. I'll go to my grave on that shit. You're not gonna come up to me, tell me some shit about somebody that I know and that I trust and that I have a relationship with, and then I'm all of a sudden gonna fucking diss them or cut them off or ghost them and start talking shit. That's bitch, weak, pussy shit. And that's exactly what Dubs did. And I responded accordingly. Again, he went to wax, so we got it on wax.
Oh my god, he's like, I like chopping a little bit too. Oh my god, I'm chopping. I'm like rapping, I'm like Tech 9 right now. Oh my god, I'm like Tech 9. Oh my god, I'm like Tech fucking 9. Oh my god.
That shit's pretty fucking funny.
The fucking Matrix, fucking Neo, fucking Morpheus.
This is funny. I don't know why you're talking shit about this. This shit is pretty fucking hilarious. It was funny too because he was bitching about this other song that I owed him a verse for. So what I did was I did this on it instead, and then I sent him the files with an email like it was me just sending him the actual verse. And that was just the first kind of fuck you after he pulled that diss bullshit before I actually dissed him back.
Fast forward a little bit, either Joker got in Dubs' ear or Dubs started to feel guilty and his diss to Joker was deleted, and Joker, like an asshole, made his diss, if you want to call it that, unlisted. So if you want to hear a grown man have his whole career flash before his eyes, give it a spin. That finally brings us to now and the point of why I made this video.
Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, this video came out before I actually released the track on Dubs. That makes sense. You did this right after the shit happened, so you didn't hear or address the actual song that I did against Dubs in response to his diss. By the way, you guys should go listen to the song. It's a fucking great song. It's dope. You know, I'm sorry that Dubs had to die, but go check it out. It's called Known Killer. It's on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, check it out.
An asshole made his diss, if you want to call it that, unlisted. So if you want to hear a grown man have his whole career flash before his eyes, give it a spin. That finally brings us to now and the point of why I made this video. Do not donate to this motherfucker's Kickstarter.
Dude, fuck you.
The Joker is a lot of things, and one of the main ones is a penny-pinching asshole.
You're a fucking bitch. You're a complete bitch. Like, it's cute when you are just being a little dick twit, but when you start being like, do not donate to this person, dude, he's a thief, he's a comment, that's fucking bitch shit, bro. You're a fucking bitch. You've never done one iota of business with me. You don't know anybody who's actually done one iota of business with me. And you have no fucking clue what I've had to go through to be where I'm at. And you don't know about the fucking 100 million other people that are going to have raving reviews about me and my character and what I do for people and how I take care of my motherfucking people. I am in no way perfect, but I'm an honorable motherfucker and I do the best that I possibly can. The circumstances are what's fucked up. The circumstances of what it takes to make it in a music career in this fucked up world is what fucks it up. Expecting somebody to be always perfect 24/7 all the time when they're doing something creative for a living and working with hundreds of artists and thousands of fans over dozens of years is not fucking feasible. And cherry picking the 7 times that I've ever had any kind of a falling out with people and using that as an excuse to slander me all over the internet even more, talking about don't donate to this person, is even more despicable. And it's very telling of what you think about yourself as a person. That's the fucked up part. Because people who are confident in themselves don't need to go bash other people. They don't need to go try to tear down other people. You should worry about your own goddamn self, man. Go live a real life. Pursue an actual career somewhere. Put some skin in the game with anything. And stop just fucking overeating at your mom's house and criticizing people. And then maybe we can have a reasonable conversation.
He has a huge history of small up-and-coming artists approaching him for collabs, and he'll take their money and just never fucking talk to them again.
That has never, ever, once, ever happened in my entire fucking career. You cannot find one person on the face of this earth who can say I did that to them. Not one. There's been situations in the past, sheer numbers again, with hundreds of artists and thousands of fans and trying to do this full-time and I'm only one person, where for whatever reason a collab takes longer than I want it to, but I never cut off communication. Not fucking once. Not fucking once have I ever taken somebody's money and cut off communication. So fuck you on that shit.
The only collabs you take seriously are the Collective Chaos ones, and if you manage to get on...
No, I take every fucking collab seriously. It's just I don't compromise and I don't send people bullshit. So sometimes it takes me longer to do a verse. Sometimes I can knock it out in 2 hours. Sometimes it takes a few days. Sometimes it falls through the cracks and I fucking forget about the dude and then he never emails me back or checks in on the shit. And then he forgets that he never emailed me back and then all of a sudden, oh, Joker took my money. And then when I hear somebody talking about it, the very first thing I do is I go and fucking talk to them dudes. I send them an email or reach out to them on Facebook or call them. You can ask NK47, you can ask anybody who's ever had this shit happen. I fucking reach out. I'm not perfect, but I reach out. And I'm always right here. My fucking email is all over the internet. It'll come straight to my goddamn phone.
on one of those, you will receive no royalties for your efforts on those songs that have potential to reach thousands of plays on Spotify.
That's what you receive. That's the fucking exposure you get, you idiot.
One of the Collective Chaos tracks is his top played song on Spotify right now.
This nigga So you criticize me for doing it. You criticize me for being irrelevant. And then you say that one of the Collective Chaos tracks is the top played song out of my whole 180 song discography on Spotify. Again with the contradictions, bro. You are so internally conflicted. Even your own criticisms are fucking conflicted. It's pathetic.
Which receives over 60,000 plays a month, but he claims it's still worth it because you're getting exposure.
What the fuck? Okay, oh my god. Why do you think people put their shit on World Star Hip Hop? They don't get the fucking views and the monetization. They get the exposure. You get the fucking eyeballs, then you monetize that as an artist. I'm not saying this again. This is hurting my brain.
One of the questions I keep getting over and over and over again is, hey, how do the royalty splits work if I'm on your album? Who gets paid for this? Who gets paid for that?
I'm about to say the same shit, and he's using a video trying to make me look bad, which just explains the perfectly logical reason why things are the way they are that you're criticizing.
For me, nigga, the exposure is what your payment is.
Duh.
Also, I didn't even mention most of these artists paid thousands of dollars to be on this song in the first place.
Nope, not thousands of dollars. No, the most I've ever charged for a Collective Chaos song, I think, is $800. They're usually between $500 and $800. Depends on the song and the context.
And they're going to get nothing in return at all except their name on a Jokerr album.
Yeah, and put it out in front of hundreds of thousands of people that otherwise wouldn't know they fucking exist. Say somebody paid me, I don't know, $500, $800 for Collective Chaos. The song that you're on goes on my YouTube channel with 80,000 subscribers and gets hundreds of thousands of views from people that don't know you exist. They see your name on that song and they go to Spotify. They play your music. They look up your website. They go buy your merchandise. They tell their friends about you. Now you are monetizing that. Other artists might be listening and like, oh, this guy's fucking dope, man. I want to collab with him. They hit you up. They pay you for a verse. Perfect example, Whiteout or Zerk. Either one of them dudes have made 10 times the money they paid to fucking be on these songs with me just from the collabs they got, from the fucking exposure I got them. You know, any like semi-well-known independent artist can easily make $100,000 a year off of merch and collabs alone if you're consistent enough. That's the key. Collective Chaos, working with bigger artists, is a portal to that shit. It's a fucking marketing expense. You noodle nuts, queef-sniffing shit sack.
This is the same fucking logic as pay-to-play booking, and it is never, ever worth it. There are...
You wouldn't know. You've never done it.
Metric fuck ton of rappers that have collaborated with the Jokerr. You can look at the Appears On section on his Spotify and see that I'm not bullshit.
I've been doing this for a fucking living for 10 years. For a living. Why the fuck would I not have a bunch of collaborations? A lot of people want to work with me. Duh.
I have not seen one of those rappers outside of the context of collaborating with the Jokerr.
Exactly, because you only listen to my Spotify and only watch my YouTube. Because you are a fucking barnacle on the nutsack of my existence. And your entire career is predicated, and the economy of your entire YouTube channel is fucking based on criticizing me like a little bitch.
Jokerr wants to claim that everything he touches turns to gold and that just working with him could launch your career, but in reality, doing a song with the Jokerr is a gateway to 15 minutes of fame and nothing else.
Hey, you gotta do the work. I can give you the eyeballs, but you gotta do the work. If you're expecting to get a collab with one big artist and then that's gonna blow up your career, it's not gonna work. You have to fucking do the work. You have to follow up. You have to put more music out. You have to put music videos out. You have to put albums out. You have to keep your fans engaged. There's a lot that has to happen after that shit. And sadly, a lot of people who pay for collabs sometimes are just 1 foot in, 1 foot out with the music shit, and they don't want to do that extra back work. The ones who have benefited from it. It's the nature of the case. You're only going to get 1 out of 100 fucking wannabe rappers who may actually blow up or actually do something with their careers. It's not easy to do. A lot of people don't have that drive. Criticizing that fact is a moot point. It's asinine.
Just like his own career. He does not give a shit to help smaller artists, no matter how much he says he does.
This is the bullshit, man. This is a fucking video that helped Whiteout, Whitney Payton, Cryptic Wisdom, like a motherfucker. It has hundreds of thousands of views. People that didn't know they fucking existed on my channel. Fans of mine that now pay for their features, go to their shows, buy their fucking merchandise. So first of all, that's bullshit just showing this video criticizing that exact point. Secondly, the whole reason why you think you have all these examples of things going bad with me is because I put myself out and I do work with a lot of smaller artists. The thing is, though, and anybody with the fucking iota of maturity will know this, familiarity breeds contempt. People see behind the Wizard of Oz curtain and they see you're a normal person and you're not a fucking superhero and they turn against you because of that shit. It's a psychological thing that just happens with people in relationships. Always fucking happens. It takes a special person with a big character to be let in and see behind the curtain and not take advantage of it and not somehow blame them for your lack of success. Very few people who can do that shit. So unfortunately, when you put yourself out to a lot of people, familiarity breeds contempt. Now all of a sudden you're the fucking bad guy. But whatever, I'm gonna keep doing it. Fuck what you think. Fuck what anybody else thinks. I'm not gonna let this shit jade me. I'm gonna keep looking out for smaller artists because I know what the fuck it feels like. And the people who appreciate it are the ones who will get the benefits from it. The ones that don't and want to turn on me and be a fucking nobody, mediocre asshole in the desert of Arizona or in the fucking backwoods of Michigan and trash me on the internet, then fucking do it. Fine. I'm gonna keep working with the real ass niggas like Zerk, who actually moved to LA this last week and is actually killing the shit. And he's somebody who's on the most popular song of mine on fucking Spotify. He's actually living proof that if you're smart and you work for it, it's worth it. But I bet you people back in Michigan are gonna be talking shit about him moving to LA. But they don't know that this motherfucker has been doing 12-hour shifts for the last 2 years straight with no days off, working in the freezing cold to save up 30 grand so he could come out here and actually pursue his dreams. That's what the fuck it takes. Everybody sees the surface level shit. They never see the shit that actually got the person there to criticize them in the first place. It's like, yeah, you're living with me at my house and you see I'm a normal ass person and you're gonna criticize all my flaws. Yeah, was my house in Woodland Hills, California? Did I take you to fucking famous people's houses? Did I take you to $80 million mansion parties? Did I take you to fucking hip-hop DX parties and co-sign you to fucking major artists all over the industry? Did I do all that? Or was it just, I'm just a selfish asshole who asked you to move out because you were fucking smoking weed in my house after me asking you not to? Which one is the one you want to criticize? The person who did all that for you or the one who did that one thing wrong that you didn't like that hurt your feelings? Truth is, you couldn't handle it. You couldn't handle it. You can't handle it. And when you know you can't handle it, you run and then you talk shit about people who can handle it. So it is what it is. I'm going to keep it moving.
He ended up hosting another rap contest a couple years after I Dare You to Diss Me, which was won by T-Rev, who I have my own
this guy
problems with, and his weird father, but regardless, he won fair and square and did not receive the prize for it. And it's not just his fellow...
Okay, so T-Rev, he won fair and square. He did receive the prize money, but the other half of the prize was a collab with me. I didn't give him the collab because after I gave him the prize money, he started talking shit about me. You don't get to talk shit about the person you're supposed to be doing the feature and the video with and then still get to do the feature and the video with. That's not how this works. You won the contest, you got the fucking money, and then you didn't get the feature and the video because you turned into a bitch and started talking shit about me. It's that simple. Yeah, and his dad is creepy. And the fact that you actually said you have your own problems with is indicative of the fact that the guy... Look at his fucking videos, dude.
Father, but
look at the videos that you're like. Anyway, look at the green screen around the edge. Anyways, yeah, that guy's a nutcase, man. F that dude.
He won fair and square.
He could think what he wants.
And did not receive the prize for it. And it's not just his
he did.
fellow artists either. Every single time he announces an album, he accompanies it with a pre-order, even if it's not finished yet, and then he takes as long as he feels like to actually finish the product that these people have just bought. I was victim to this myself when I bought Trail of Destruction.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate situation, but you got it. It was a few months, but you got that shit. That's the only time it's ever really happened. Trail of Destruction and All the Orphans. Twice. Who cares? It was the same kind of thing. I was going through a fucking bunch of bullshit happened at my house back in Arizona. I almost got the house foreclosed on. Fucking ran out of money. It's the fucking hustle, man. That was the first year that I had done it. That was the first year that I dove all the way in and being a recording artist. And I didn't have any second job. Like, I had just quit a stable-ass job to just do music full time. And shit got tight. And I fucking got the pre-orders, and I had the pre-order money, and I had to spend that on bills to keep my house from getting fucking foreclosed on, and a bunch of other shit happened. And then eventually I got up out the hole, and I fucking mailed them all out. I handled that shit. I'm not a record company. I'm one person trying to manage all of this alone. That's the nature of the beast.
It was like a good 6 months before it finally showed up in my mailbox, and everyone else waited 2 years for All the Orphans. The Harlequin still hasn't dropped, Collective Chaos 3 hasn't dropped, he announced another album called Long Dark Road, and I'm pretty sure that there are more. Like, dude,
You can suck my long dark chode, bro. You're a real bitch, dude.
Just
Seriously.
fucking finish them before you...
I want to just fucking finish this video. This shit is like fucking pulling teeth listening to your goddamn mongoloid fat tongue ass talking.
announce them. Also, why does he need a Kickstarter in the first place?
Because of marketing money.
He keeps saying, this one's big, this is it, I need it.
Everything I've released to this date has had no marketing money behind it. All of the platforms that are out where you can put music out have matured. There's no free rides anymore. Back in 2008, you could put something on Facebook. The algorithm would let as many people like it as they want. And if they kept liking it, it would keep showing up in other people's fucking, in their news feeds, and their friends would see it, and it could spread quick and viral and quick. That doesn't happen anymore. All the algorithms are hyper sophisticated now. And all the platforms have been monetized. Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you gotta pay to market to this shit now. It doesn't work like it did in the past. So if you want an album to go big, you have to have marketing dollars. And as I've described before, living out here is right on the cusp, at least until I launch this album, is right on the cusp of my current capabilities financially. Because it's only me. It's only fucking me. So it makes sense. Do a Kickstarter, fund it myself, and then the fucking money rolls in. Keep in mind, I haven't done a major album in years, and I've never done a largely marketed album. I've been honing my craft, I've been handling my business, I've been fucking positioning my chess pieces to do what I gotta do to succeed. Again, you wouldn't understand any of this shit, because you've never been through any of this shit. So, criticize all you want, bitch. I'm gonna keep it moving. Let's finish this terrible video so everyone can move on with their lives.
Investors, but you don't get fucking investors without telling them where their money will go. He already knows how to mix, he already has a studio, he has a shit ton of instruments at his disposal, he knows how to both film and edit music videos. Why does he need money all of a sudden?
The marketing expenses, you idiot. The album is done. And even if I can film and edit videos, I can't film myself. And it still costs money to have other people and get filming permits and have fucking crews and have cameras and have actors and do all this other shit shit's expensive. Let's say I did do all that myself. Now I got this finished product and I can't fucking market it. And I put it out on YouTube, and what happens is the same shit that happened to All the Orphans. It gets 2,000 views per song and nobody hears it because you have to pay to market shit these days. God, you are so dense and stupid.
And why
You are so stupid.
should I give him money when he's just going to take it and come back in 4 years with an album that doesn't live up to the hype?
Dude, I want to punch you in your face so bad right now, man. I really wish I could. I really, really wish I could. I just want to, just a little pop, just pop. You know what I mean? You guys get that same feeling watching this video? Don't you just want to pop? Just like, not like a full like follow through, like a haymaker, just a pop, just enough to give him a nice bloody nose and like to hear him start squealing like a pig and running out of the room to go cry to his mom. And then coming back and making some kind of a video about it after the fact and then whining about me again for fucking 5 trillion years to try to get 14,000 more views on a shitty YouTube channel where all he does is criticize people that he will never be like and never accomplish 1/10 or 100th of what they've actually accomplished. You guys feel that shit? I feel that shit. Whatever.
He has yet to tell people what their money would actually be going into, and I can't think of what it could be that he doesn't already have access to in some way. He thinks it's the answer, though. He seems to think in 2020 he'll be on fucking MTV Cribs showing us around his mansion, but I have a serious fucking suspicion that will not be the case. He's
I'll show you around these nuts. That's what I'll do in 2020.
actively trying to rewrite history in his favor so he can finally get famous and successful, and it's fucking scummy to watch happen. He did it with Dead.
What's scummy to watch happen is your poor mother or whoever owns that house that you're sitting in, having you still living there. That's what's scummy. I wish you would just stop right now and live some real life and have some real issues and stop wasting your time criticizing people like that. Never mind. Let's finish this shit. I'm gonna do my little synopsis at the end anyways, whatever.
Dead Horse. He did it with the re-upload of Sidekick when he cut out all the hops and voicemail parts. He did it with Frances when he deleted his post saying she gave him the money and claimed he got a ban even though he had posted 12 hours earlier. As soon as he realizes he fucked up, either he tries to switch the narrative in his favor or acts like it never happened. Now he's going back to the Juggalo community with this new video he's been teasing, and it's just very showing of the kind of person he is. He would rather look like a bipolar dumbass than stick to his guns if it means he doesn't have to own up to his shitty behavior. Right now, Joker has his foot in like 3 different doors and he doesn't fit in any of them.
I want to have my foot in 3 different of your orifices. I don't want to make it fit in all of them.
The Juggalos aren't going to embrace him because they rarely forgive and forget. The rap heads won't accept him because he...
No, shut the fuck up, bitch. Juggalos know what the fuck is up. I've never said I hate juggalos. I talk shit about juggalo rappers who were just biting ICP. And when I did trash juggalos, it was in an honest, funny way as promotion for Because I Can. And then I said shit that was true about ICP. They have made shitty music. Real juggalos don't give a fuck. Real juggalos from my fucking era know exactly what the fuck I'm doing. They appreciate it. Then they fucking champion keeping it real. You must be talking about juggalos of your bitch ass generation who are like fam kids and suck the dick of anything anybody does who says juggalo whoop whoop and then hates on anything that anybody does that says anything different. So I don't know what fucking juggalos you're hanging out with, bitch.
He's way too corny and has this whole side career where
This guy's calling me corny.
he makes music that sounds like show tunes. And the pop community won't
I wanna
accept him
see-
as
where's
soon
your
as they
face?
figure out he's a right-wing gun
I want to see your face real quick. This guy's calling me corny. I'm corny. Okay, yeah, I'm corny as fuck.
asshole. The Joker is fucking dumb if he thinks any of these communities is gonna finally fully embrace him after a solid decade of bullshit. I'm gonna take a detour for a second and talk about Alan Moore. If you don't know him, he wrote The Killing Joke and Watchmen and a bunch of other comic books. I was under the impression for a long time that he was kind of an asshole. He'd sell off his rights for his comics to movie studios, but when they'd actually make the movie, he'd then denounce them as bad without even watching them.
Hurts so
Obviously,
bad.
I thought this was pretty unreasonable and just assumed he was a bitter, angry old man. Wasn't until
I don't have much more in me. I gotta finish this shit. Oh, this is fucking painful.
fairly recently, I learned he's an anarchist and he hates big business and the monopolizing of art in general. He wrote the comic books he did because he wanted to prove stories like that could be told through that medium. To him, to make a movie out of one of his books is to bastardize the entire idea of its existence. I found
You existing has bastardized the idea of existence in general.
out he sold the rights for them because he needed money, and later heard a story about a kid approaching his table at a convention and telling him he doesn't have money.
God, this
because he wanted
anecdote,
to tell him
end
he's a
it,
great
please,
writer.
end
Alan
it.
Moore then bought the kid one of his comic books, signed it, and chatted with him for a good 2 hours. That's when I realized Alan Moore is not an asshole, I just misunderstood him. I have never had that realization with the Joker. Ever since I got into him, he's been horribly negative and doesn't interact positively with his fans much outside of sharing memes and announcing albums that won't drop for 10 years.
God.
At the end of my first Joker video, I said I didn't hate the Joker, and that's probably still true on a technical level, but I sure as hell don't like the guy. He's a very, very temperamental human being and is clearly not as smart as he would like to think he is. If he was, he'd be covering this shit up better and I wouldn't be able to make this. But as is, I guess we'll just have to look to the new year and wait for the Joker's episode of MTV Cribs.
So in summation, you're releasing videos about me on a channel specifically dedicated to hating on people, while looking like a marshmallow in suburbia, living at your mom's house, and never having done anything of your own in life. You criticize people with mental illness. You trivialize it. You say that I have too nice of a house to have depression. You criticize me for being authentic and keeping it real with the people around me, speaking hope and positivity into my fan base who follows me for my opinion and for my advice. You criticize me for having music that's too polished, but then the album sounds like shit. And then you contradict yourself 90 times throughout this whole fucking thing. And this is all coming from someone who hasn't lived one fucking second in the real world. You know what, Nick? This is what you need to do, man. You're young, you're cocky, you're idealistic, you're obviously intelligent enough to understand humor and be self-referential, and you can edit videos, right? Yes, and you liked my music. Why don't you start from scratch and start putting out music as an artist, but just put music out. Don't hate on people and talk shit and bash people. Listen, I don't hate you, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this whole fucking hate on everybody shit is gonna get old. You're gonna stagnate with your growth. People do not like negative shit. You may have some growth. You may get some attention. You're gonna have some people who actually watch this shit that you say and find it entertaining. But it's not gonna spread the way you want it to. People need something positive to get behind. Stop making your whole life and your whole channel about being negative against this person or that person. You can't make your whole platform not this, not that. This is why this sucks. This is why that sucks. You're not bringing anything to the table ontologically. There's no positive value in what you're doing, bro. You are rust in a car. If you take all of the fucking rust out of the car, you have a better car. But if you take the car out of the rust, you have nothing. You can't be the negative of a other thing. You need to be the positive of your own thing. That's something that you can build into the future with. That's a better appropriation of your own intellect and your own capabilities, which you've obviously displayed here. And I 100% guarantee you it'll yield you much better results in life in everything that you do. That all being said, you can still suck my balls for all that shit you said because it was fucked up. But I understand you're a kid. This is what I want you to do. Go build something positive and live your own life for the next 10 to 15 years. Go through some shit. Try some shit. Set out on your own. Try to achieve something positive for yourself and stop making your whole existence just being a negative of other people's shit. Then come back, watch this video, look at where I am in my life and career, and see how you feel about everything. That's what I want you to do.
Little mama come through, get respected. She take off her shoe.
Okay. All right, man. Shut up. If you made it to the end of this video, God bless your heart, because I'm about to literally go kill myself right now. But if you made it to the end of this video, you got to be a fan, and I got to let you guys know that shit's about to pop off with this new album, and I have a brand new store. Check it out. Boom. Right there. Jokermart.com. Check this shit out. Look at this dope-ass shit, man. We finally got all-over print two-tone t-shirts, two-tone hoodies. Look at this dope-ass shit, man. Shit is gangsta, nigga, with the fucking, with the logo on the back and shit. It's fire. So we got hoodies. We got more to come. All the Orphans tee, which is an all-over print. Really dope. Also, the All the Orphans hoodie. I know we kind of missed it because it's about to be spring, but it's still cold most of the places. Anyways, go to Jokermart.com. It will forward you right here to our brand new store. And there's all types of dope products. And if you trying to rep for me and you're trying to support what I'm doing, and you ain't some sniveling ass, 8 fucking blumpkin stain butt nugget, dick twat, bitch wad, dip slap, anus hamster, cock womble, dip turd biscuit, shit sack, queer sniffer, noodle nuts, mega bitch, Justin Bieber blob, like the idiot that we were just breaking down the video of, you can get up in here. You know what I'm saying? Buy some shit and rep for me. Come straight to me. I love you guys. Dope shit coming. J to the O. All the hate in the world can't stop this movement because I've been through too much to stop now. Peace. It's been so long. I've tried to deny it. I've tried to run. But deep down, I've always known it's who I am.